Let's stop waiting to be ready. Okay. And why I say this is I was having a conversation with a client. So we're just, getting to know each other to see how things would work out if, you know, if we're a good fit and stuff like that. And basically what came up from the conversation is the feeling of, oh, I need to be ready. Oh, I need to have this like have everything sorted out, for me to be able to go on and start taking jobs in that area when they've actually done the work to be able to do work in that area. And it's not as if they're going beyond and advance. It's just that feeling of like, oh yeah, I just need to um do this. And like when I've been able to maybe shadow like 100 hours or do this and do that, then I'll be able to take on the role, or I'll be able to do what's required. When readiness is actually a decision that one has to make. You get to decide, and then you embody the identity of the person who does that which you desire, who like what it is that you're wanting, than feeling like, oh, I just need to do some more learning. I just need to get some more like eyeballs and do this and and then it's like ready, aim, ready, aim, ready, aim, red. Like you'll never be ready if you do not make that decision to do like get in there. If you do not like, because we often wait for that perfect mastery to happen, perfect opportunity to take place before things flow or before we do the things that we said we're going to do. Whereas that perfection is never the goal. It's not about like having all those things in place. Then, magic will happen and then miraculously you're now ready to now start doing the thing. The gap between where you are right now and where you want to be is is created by the hesitation, not the lack of skill. Is the hesitation to take the step, is the hesitation to do the work that is required for you to be able to do the thing. You know, you just need to apply. You just need to put yourself out there, say yes to the role, and then you go with the flow. You start doing a thing. You start taking that aligned action. Because once we go in, we can then course correct. Okay, and this is maybe I readjust this next time or do whatever. And because the other thing is like when we're like waiting and waiting to be ready, the gap and the distance between the desire becomes more. And the brain that wants to keep us safe will just keep pushing us away from actually taking that action because the time between is now elongated or like stretched out or like whatever that is. So we start, it becomes even, I was going to create an English word. The gap between then just gets bigger in a sense that taking that action becomes like hard work or it becomes like impossible. And then we start making all this either excuses or things to say, okay, this is the thing that, or whatever that is. Whereas, like, when we make that decision and come from that point of like, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want, and this is what I'm be. I'm the person who takes roles like that. I'm the person who does this. I'm this person that stops second guessing and make a decision and say, this is a lexicon choice I'm going to use for this interpretation. This is what I'm going to use to make this translation. And then we go from that point. Then going from the point of oh, okay. Let me do some more because the underlining thing that is stopping us is the identity of who we are right now, not who we're becoming. When we go from the empowered place of this, the person who takes the job, the person who does stops get second guessing themselves, what they ask, take the time to really journal on that and write that down. This is who they are. This is how they show up. This is what they feel like. This is what they say. This is how they act. This is how their mannerism is. This is what they are like, how they're anchoring themselves. When we come from that aligned place, does that we start collapsing that gap and that distance in the becoming? We start taking those aligned actions to do the things that we want. And then we start, because the key thing is like, we want to take the job, for instance, right? We want to stop second guessing ourselves. If our identity is like, we're not the kind of people who do that, no matter how much desire we want, if how we see ourselves is not that of the person who takes those aligned action, because if we're thinking that we're not capable or we're not good enough, we're not that, and we start feeling that way, then that's not going to happen for us. We have to, because what we're thinking is how we're going to feel, and what we feel will not make us take those action that will then give us the results we want of getting those booking and getting picked and getting those choices. So the identity which we want, and then having that like this is what we want. So first of all, we really need to know what we want. And what we want means like describing how does that person show up? What does that person get to look like? How do they act? How do they feel? What are the things that they do? Once we know what those things are, once we know that, okay, this is how this person shows up, rolls up, like act up, like whatever that is, okay, now we have the desire. We then get to start working on, now we know what it is. We then need to start aligning our identity to the identity of that, or not of somebody that, oh no, we don't do that. Or someone like, yes, this is how we show up, this is how we roll. And then because we've gotten this awareness of self, and then we've gotten this, okay, now we know this is like what we want, tune with the identity, like, and then working like the repetition of doing the work and aligning to that becoming, we then create this new identity to match the becoming. And then we're showing up from an aligned state that then connects us to that being and desire. So we get to show up in that space, in that um, way that that then becomes quicker. So that when we now like, okay, now someone like this, we go for that job, we apply, and then we celebrate the fact. So when we even when we try it and we go, oh, okay, we celebrate the fact that we did that thing. We whatever that is, because what we celebrate to elevate, okay? And it helps like tell our brain that this is safe, this is okay. We get to do this more. We get to align to this, and then we get to re like our identity becomes strengthened and anchored and really like magnetized, because that's what we want. And that's how we get to start doing a thing we desire than waiting and aiming and waiting. We go for that which you want. So what I implore you to think about, what is the desire you want? What does that get to look like? How does that show up? What is that for you? When you have that aligned space of knowing, then you can then take the work. Now, to figure out what is that thing that is holding us from really aligning to the thing we want, I call those things the thieves of our dreams or a toxic 10. Is it procrastination for you? Hesitation, overwhelm, stress, fear of failure, fear of success, imposter syndrome, self-loathing, rejection. How do you get to know what that is so you can start working towards that thing? So you can then go for those aligned actions that you want. You can then go for the desires of the things that you want to make happen for self. I have put together a guide that will just help you figure out what is your toxic 10? What's still in your dreams? And then from that, you can then know, okay, now this is what I need to like figure out and work on so that I can then start focusing on really being aligned to the desires I want. You want to take the quiz? The link is down below. Take it, figure out what is that thing that's holding you back, and then you're able to now start going for those desires you want because we can then start being from the aligned state of our becoming than from where we are in our circumstances right now. Till next time. Bye for now.